Yo, yo, yo.
What it do? What it do? Who it do? What it do? What it is? What it be like? What's up, Herb?
We're
What's up,
back.
Herb?
You've said that every
Oh
week,
yeah, we're
and now
back.
we're back, and you don't even say we're back. Like,
Oh my bad, my bad. I feel like I
are
have to
you
change it up
okay?
from time to time. Yeah, I gotta change it up. I gotta
Oh,
change it up.
Raj, I'm too old for
Try.
changing stuff up. So,
That's true. That's true. Old people
this
don't
is
like
one
to
of those.
adjust.
This is going to be a crazy show tonight. Not even going to lie to you.
Yeah,
We're just going to kind of see where it goes. Let's start off with the
that's
comments.
fine. We kind of did that last week and it went really really well, so we're good. Cat,
No, last
roll
week we
tide.
had on DJ. So, but good point
I
to
mean, the
mention.
previous week. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the previous week we
Yeah.
definitely did. But shout
But
out to
speaking of
DJ.
shout out to DJ. Excellent guest. Please follow her on all her social medias. Daily Joy. Excellent guest. Appreciate it.
Yep, it was a great show. What's
Kat,
up, Kat? Got
thank
the
you for
roll
joining
tide.
us again.
Yes,
Big
please
Mike.
like and subscribe. We're trying to slowly make our way to 200 at the next go.
Yes.
We've done a poor job of doing it so far, but we will definitely be pushing that more as we get into the summer.
Yes.
So, and like I said, they got to DJ for
right.
being the first guinea pig for our segments where we talk about somebody else, somebody else's team. So we thought it went well. So we've got several planned. I want to say our Oklahoma one is the next one. That's coming up in 2 weeks with Air Raid Mike. And then you might see the Oregon one by the end of the month too as well. So,
and speaking of Air Raid Mike, let's give a shout out to Air Raid Mike, Big Mike, and Mr. U. They had their debut. The Thursday night triple threat was last Thursday. I think it was just Big Mike and Mr. U, but I believe this Thursday night it should be all three of them. What was the time again? Was it 8:30, Herb, Central Standard Time?
8 o'clock.
Or 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, yeah.
I think it's 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. If y'all aren't following them, or if you're wrestling fans, or just fans of them in general, please follow Big Mike, Air Raid Mike, and Mr. U, the Thursday night triple threat. Talking a lot of wrestling. It was great to just listen to that show last week. It was very nostalgic. That it had me and her and I thinking about all the good old days back in the days, and we used to watch wrestling, and it was awesome. Dope show. Great content. And special shout out to Big Mike. Big Mike was like the heck of an analyst. He was like one of the best wrestling analysts I've ever heard. He could tell you pound for pound, no pun intended, wrestlers, everything, backstories, what faction they're in, what organization they're in. It was awesome. Really, really dope show. Kudos to those three. Herb and I will be tuning in this Thursday.
Yeah. We actually got to look up some stuff so I can keep up with the conversation when it comes into the new stuff. But no. Very well said. Exactly. Very well said. That was a great job. So, what you said, Lady Alpha's come in and say, "What's up?" Mike's been in the thing. What's up? One of your boys,
James. What's going on, James? Thank you for joining us, man. We appreciate it. James is slowly becoming like, how do I block? Yeah. Wait till he sees all your T-shirts. He's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh!" He's gonna start buying them. But James is also slowly becoming like a good supporter. He's been there since day one, behind the scenes, but now he's just popping in and out. So appreciate it, James. Love you, man. Miss you. Hope to see you out soon.
Yep. Here goes your Boomer Sooner. So, like I said, 2 weeks we'll be talking to Air Raid. Yep. So, and Raj will actually be out that night. So Big Mike will be co-hosting that night. Air Raid Mike will be the guest. I might just go get popcorn and then drink and just chill and watch the whole thing.
Let it go. Let it ride. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Now, this is a lie. This is a 1,000% a lie. We're trying to learn to crush it like Randy.
We're trying to learn how to crush it. Yeah. Randy's been crushing it for a hot minute now.
Yeah. And let me go ahead and tell you, Mike, you got a lot to live up to because Randy is so far as the only other co-host that's been on this show in replace one of us, and he killed it. So you got a lot to live up to.
Killed it.
And Randy will definitely be getting together later this summer to talk a lot of Georgia. I wonder how that show will go, Alabama versus Georgia, for a whole show. If will we all behave? Like, will my blood pressure go up? Is it going to give me high cholesterol just watching the show?
I think for the most part, it'll go well. But there's going to be little parts here and there when we kind of just like have to refrain. Like, oh, okay, Randy, we'll let it go, and vice versa. Randy's not going to want to listen to all our Bama talk all the time. Shout out to Randy, man. Randy's been a great supporter of us, and we appreciate him jumping in on a weekly basis. So, Randy, we appreciate you. And we hope we can, reciprocate the love as well. So,
yes, awesome. Sir, definitely. Randy will be on tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central. So
6 p.m. Central. Yeah.
What was it? Nobody wrestle. Yeah. Kat, I don't watch it anymore.
Yeah,
so it's but you definitely got to show love to our guys. So we didn't feel the whole thing last time. So
exactly.
Air Raid say looking forward to it. Yeah, definitely so. And yes, this is true. This is true. So just the fastball guys. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Randy, and I'm trying to wait till later this summer too. I think we've been talking about it, so maybe we can do an overall SEC preview mixed in kind of with the Georgia preview. But it's gonna be interesting. Probably be the best, maybe one of the best, if not the best team that we have on here, to talk about. And honestly, it's like, if you're in that position, is it like championship or bust, right? That's kind of, I feel like even if that's not true, it's true, if that makes sense. So that'll be interesting. So where are we even going to start? So first off, I mean, our condolences to the whole Walton family. Bill Walton passing yesterday.
Passed away from cancer.
It's I think a lot of this generation are going to know him more for the antics on college basketball more than like the basketball play.
I am.
But that man was unapologetically himself. He was like, I'm going to be myself. I'm going to go out here and have fun. And, it's funny because he would mix in enough nuggets to let you know he really did know the game and know what these guys out here were talking about. But it was just like his crazy way of getting you through it. But dude was a legend.
There were several times when I would watch Bill Walton just commentating, and I felt like he would just drift off into his own land talking about things that had absolutely nothing to do with the game. And I know his co-commentators knew it as well, but again, like you said, that was just Bill. He was unapologetic. He was going to be himself. Obviously, a loyal follower to the Grateful Dead. Wore the shirts all the time. I liked him. He was cool. He may not have been a fan of everybody, but it is what it is. He was himself, and rest in peace again to the Walton family. Our condolences.
Yeah, well said, Raj. Well said. So, on a another kind of one of the random notes out there. Did you know that today was not on Herb Day officially in Louisiana, and it's not named after me?
What?
Herb Jones. Yeah, Herb Jones made it. This comes straight from Kat. She was the first one to tag us in this. Yeah, he made first team all defense. Which, by the way, the Western Conference semifinals are on right there. Or Western Conference finals, excuse me, are on.
Finals, yeah.
And they came out there and made today is officially declared not on Herb Day. So
okay. I didn't know this until now, but shout out to Herb Jones, man. I remember, I think it was last year sometime when I told you, I was like, I would love to have a guy like Herb Jones on the Lakers. He's not going to give us like 20 a game, but defensively, he would definitely help us out a lot. And I think his 3-point shooting has gotten better over the past few years.
It has.
So I would love to have a guy like that on our team to give you 10 to 15 and but defensively, again, just show up and just help prevent the other team from scoring. But shout out to Herb Jones, Bama. Of course, he went to Bama, had some great years here. Good to see him shining. Hey, shout out to Brandon Miller while we're at it. Brandon Miller made the all-rookie team. Honestly, he was probably, I want to say, if I had to guess, probably top 3 or top 4 as far as rookie of the year. But I think we all knew Wemby was going to win that anyway. And then it was probably Chet. But Brandon Miller had a great rookie season. Shout out to him. It's always good to see the Bama people shining.
Yep. Randy, throw out some nuggets. So I know we've seen bits and pieces here and there, but like when you say that, it makes me feel like I've definitely have missed some stuff. Oh, that's
actually extremely accurate. No, it's not. It's funny, but it's 100% accurate. I agree with Big Mike the entire way. Vanderbilt, when he was brought to the Lakers, the only thing you heard about him was how his defensive prowess and how good he was on the defensive side. And we accepted that. But unfortunately, this past year he got hurt, didn't really play in the playoffs. And offensively, he's just kind of been absent. I mean, every once in a while, I'll try to throw up a 3 or get a few points, but he just hasn't stepped up to what we thought he was going to be. Basically, Herb Jones is like Darth Vader, and Jared Vanderbilt is like the guy that played Darth Vader in Spaceballs. Was that Rick Moranis? Yeah. That's how it is.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
I'm serious.
So they're like twins, and one's Arnold Schwarzenegger and the other's Danny DeVito?
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, back to oh why? What did I even say? Oh yeah, well anyway, shout out to Herb Jones as usual, man.
Yes.
I have to get over there and catch a game at some point, man, just to root them on. I don't mind the Pelicans either, so that'd be interesting. And then New Orleans always has great food. It's gonna make my cholesterol go up, but it's some good food over there. So I would definitely enjoy.
And there's always Bourbon Street. You can get a lot of water on Bourbon Street. Real healthy place.
A lot of water. That's why they call it Bourbon Street, because of all the water.
Exactly. I don't even know why. I thought it was going to be H2O Street, but for some reason somebody chose Bourbon. So,
which is weird.
It is.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah. I wonder if they even realize it yet. If they're like, oh, what booing? But yeah, they did not like the Brandon Miller pick. And then
why did they boo him? What who
I think because they wanted Scoot or whatever.
Yeah, but
I think everybody really just thought they wanted, so
they got a heck of a player in Brandon Miller. So.
Yeah. And he fit what they had going on. If Ball is ever not injured, that he fit better what they got going on. Yeah. Really, once that team kind of jettisoned everybody and just said, all right, we're going to let the young guys play, that's when they got better, and that's when he got better. So, I don't know. Sometimes the way these teams are building themselves are terrible. All right, too much party gravy on Bourbon. Yeah. Correct. So, and sticking with the basketball thing, we got until tomorrow night. We figure out about Mark Sears.
Yes, I was actually trying to look at some stuff on Twitter today and social media. I know tomorrow's the deadline. I wonder if we're going to get some sort of announcement like at midnight tonight or something. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Of course, he's going to have to make the best decision for him. I think the best decision is to come back to Bama one more year. Our team is going to be loaded next year, so I hope he comes back.
I agree, Mike.
We'll see.
Yep. I didn't see the USA Today re-rank. Huh?
Last time we checked, is Mark Sears still like a projected like mid-second round pick?
Man, so the very last draft one, I want to say it was a Bleacher Report. They didn't even have him being drafted. The very last one I saw.
Yeah. You definitely got to come back.
Yeah. So that's and I've been keeping a tab. I've never seen any of them. I can't say never. The ones that I have mostly looked at have early in the second round or not at all. There's not even like late second round ones, and there's none in the first back. So Cat said he's coming back. Probably called Cat first. Well, Cat, if Terry Arnold and Mark Sears call you at the same time, whose phone do you answer? That's a question.
That's a good question.
Yeah, so I hadn't seen the USA Today teams. I was actually looking at the ESPN one, Randy, before we got on there because a little she said Terry on. She didn't even hesitate. I knew it. Just because of a little exercise we're about to do here in a minute. I wouldn't mind if the SEC went to the 9-game schedule. Raj, how do you feel on that?
I'm okay with it. I love seeing the entertaining gameplay in the SEC. Honestly, I'm okay with it. I just want to know who the extra team would be. I mean, we have obviously Alabama faces a pretty tough schedule this year, especially with us having a first-year head coach. But if you throw in another SEC school, I'm okay with that. I just don't know what the options would be. But yeah, overall, I'm okay with it. And I'm looking at the USA Today top 10 right now. If you had to guess the top 5, who would you say in order?
Georgia or Ohio State, right?
No, you're right. 1 and 2, Georgia, Ohio State.
Okay. And I only say that because there was a couple shows we've been watching, like I think over the weekend and stuff, where people had Ohio State at number 1. Which, I mean, it doesn't really matter if you're 1 or 2, honestly, to start the year. No. But I'm putting Georgia above Ohio State to start. And Oregon?
No, you're close.
Texas?
Think of who else? Yes, Texas is 3, Oregon's 4. So who would you have at number 5? Number 5 was surprising to me. I don't think you're going to guess number 5. No.
Do I need to go look it up?
This was actually a school I nominated for our most hated schools list, and
LSU
received some sort of independent.
Oh, not Miami or Florida State.
Independent.
An independent? Oh, Notre Dame. Duh. I did know that. Yeah. Because they were on the same on the ESPN list too. I forgot about Notre Dame. Because they're not in a conference. When I'm going through teams, I go through the conferences, and I'm like, who here or who there? So that doesn't honestly surprise me though. That top, so
yeah. LSU was 6, then Bama, Florida State, Clemson. I don't know how Clemson and Penn State. How is that possible?
So Clemson is in the top 10 in yours, and ESPN Clemson's like 16. So that already tells
I'm checking
you
another site just to make sure. That doesn't seem right. So hold on.
So here you go, Raj. Why they're thinking about this, especially for you because you're more of a video game person. How wide did EA Sports now offer the new game to influencers ahead of the release date to review to drive even more interest in the game? I honestly think, Randy,
makes sense.
It's probably a bit of laziness and them thinking the game's going to sell itself, because otherwise that idea just makes too much sense to do. But I imagine they said, well, this is going to hype it up itself and let's just send it out there. And we're not going to put a whole lot of effort into that part of it. That's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head. So I might be way, way off. So.
The question is, I guess what people probably want to know if we're getting the game. I have a PS4. I'm not going to go out and get a PS5 or an Xbox, whatever the Xbox is called now. So I won't be able to get the game. Honestly, I don't even know if I would have enough time to kind of figure it out. But I if somebody else have it, I play it. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to get it. Herb, you going to go?
I have a
PS5
and Nintendo and a retro in Super Nintendo. And so when I pull out a football game, it's Tecmo Bowl or Super Tecmo Bowl. So yeah, that's not going to happen anytime soon, unfortunately for me. My video game days are way behind me, and I'm way too slow at them anyway right now. So it would just be me getting online, somebody smoking me, and that would be it. So I don't think everybody gets to see that. So
yeah.
I was trying to find. I already closed out this article, Rod. So do you want to kind of go into our now that you've got the rankings up and stuff? The market is pricey. Could be this. Yeah, I think what he's saying though, just offer the game out to the influencers. So not necessarily a money thing that they'd have to pay people, but it would help drive interest because they would naturally tell you what is about the game. So
that's true, but I kind of agree with what you mentioned. I mean, with the hype surrounding the game and just even I think last year when it was even mentioned, everybody started going crazy. And then once they released the video and the trailer for the game, everybody's already going crazy. And then there's going to be like a standard edition, a deluxe edition, and whatever the case may be. And I mean, the game's dropping; it's going to sell out anyway. But I understand what Randy's saying though, to kind of get even more attention around it.
Right. Well, that's like a free way to do it too, so it wouldn't have been that big a deal.
Yeah.
So. All right, Raj. So you want to get into our little experiment? Check it out. Now that we both have a top 25 list in front of us, checking out the playoffs. So 12-team playoff this year, right?
Yep.
Your top 12 ranked teams, the top 5 conference champions will be in. There's only 4 Power 5 teams, Power 5s now. So that 5th team is going to come from like whatever the group of 5 is, the highest ranked champion from them. Meaning, if you are the 12th ranked team in the country, you're probably not making the playoffs. And I don't even know if there's a probability on it, unless that, because most often that top ranked group of 5 person is not in the top 12. That's the only reason why I'm saying.
Wait, you said, what did you say about number 5? What did you say about number 5? I know the top 4 champions or the top 5 conference champions.
Top 5 rated, yes. So if the Mountain West and Conference USA, they're 2 champions, right? Whichever one of them is ranked higher. And I mean, that's all the groups, but I'm assuming like the MAC guy won't be ranked or whatever, right? They will be in the playoffs as that 5 seed.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. So
gotcha.
And the 5 seed, so the only top 4 will get buys. So most likely the teams that win the Power 5 conferences are going to get your buys. And then that 5th team will be hosting. Yeah. So can you imagine like if you're, I don't know, like Liberty and all of a sudden you're hosting like Texas for a playoff game? I mean, it might not fall that far, but you're going to be hosting one of the big guys for a playoff game.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, the way this thing is working.
Is that like supposed to be a reward?
12 seed, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. Is that supposed to be like a reward or something?
Yeah. So, I mean, it could be Alabama. Alabama could be traveling to one of those, so that would be interesting.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. All right. So, how do you want to tackle it? Who do you think?
Let's start with who we think will get the buys. Or is that what you want to do?
Yeah. No, that's fine. You the champ.
Okay. All right. I mean, we're both picking Bama, right? I mean, obviously to get a.
I am going to take Georgia because they're number 1. So I'm giving Georgia the number 1 bye, and on their side, and new coach and everything. So I got to. Sorry.
How can you smile when you say that?
Because anything that vexes you kind of makes me a little happy. And that's how brothers do each other.
That's true. Touche. Well, I'm sticking with Bama. I'll pick Bama as the SEC champion, and they'll get a bye. Big Ten. Who you got in the Big Ten?
I'm gonna go Ohio State because Lady Alpha's in there. But when she goes to sleep, I'm gonna tell you Oregon.
Oregon, yeah. I had a feeling. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ohio State too, man. The thing about Ohio State is I think they're gonna have a good season. The roster looks good. Honestly, I'm just not sure how great Will Howard's going to be at the quarterback position for Ohio State. Excuse me. I don't know. He did all right at K-State, but I don't know how good he's going to be at Ohio State. I don't know if he's going to be that dominant quarterback that they need. So that's going to be the big question mark going into the season. Of course, you got Julian Sayin back there. I don't know their quarterback depth chart.
Right.
So I don't know if Sayin is a for sure number 2 or 3 or whatever the case may be, but that'll be interesting to see. And I was always curious to see how Sayin would play at the collegiate level. So I will pay attention to that if he gets in. But yeah. Right. But back to the question at hand, we both have Ohio State as one of the champions. What about the Big 12, the one conference that we really don't know who's in the conference or who's going to win? I've been saying Oklahoma State ever since we started talking about it, so I'm just going to stick with Oklahoma State. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Utah. Cam Rising is back for his 17th season.
Yes, I forgot. A healthy Cam Rising will definitely. That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Yeah, so I'll go with Utah over there.
ACC.
I mean, Florida. I don't know how you pick against Florida State. Yeah.
I
wanted to throw some curveballs in here, but I just couldn't.
Yeah. So Duke's got a new coach. Clemson's going to be Clemson. I mean, we're gonna know exactly what Clemson's about week 1. Obviously, they play Georgia, and both Herb and I have already predicted Georgia to win that game anyway. So,
our official pick will come when Big Mike hosts us again for the next Ragdoll Rumble, which I won last year with all my picks. So
Herb did win.
Yeah, surprisingly. And Randy will tell you in a minute he won against his brother. So that just kind of tells you like who runs the households around here. So.
Oh, I see what we're doing. I see shots fired.
Okay. Gotcha. Just facts. Okay.
Just facts. Just facts. All right. That's 4 right there.
That's 4. Where you need one more conference champion that's not in that group. I'm gonna go with Liberty just because I don't know enough about the other teams.
What about Coastal Carolina?
That's fine.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. Again, I have not looked at their schedule, nor will I look at their schedule, but I'm just gonna throw Coastal Carolina in it. So that's 5. We have 7 remaining teams. Who do you have next in your So I guess for me, I would have to pick Georgia, right? They'd be number 2. And you would pick, well, let's see who you would pick because you picked Georgia to win. So
you don't trust Will Howard.
Does Alabama even make it in your world?
Huh?
So does Alabama make it as a number 2? Do they make it to the SEC championship game and lose, or where are they at?
I'm gonna stick to the rankings, and I'm gonna go Texas as number 2 in the SEC right now.
That's fair. Sticking to the rankings.
It's interesting because it does set up a rematch. I don't like that. That means like Jordan, they would have played in the regular season, then they played the national championship. But as far as the SEC, just for that, I'll leave that. And Air Raid, I keep looking at that one, and that's one of those where it seems like I've read Arizona in the top 10, then Arizona at like 20. So that was one of the teams that I was still kind of like closer to the year, like closer to when we start is when I'll like look more into Arizona and if I have them making it. Because right now I went with Utah and K-State for my Big 12 teams. And now keep in mind,
I'm going to go.
I feel like the second team in the Big 12, Big 10 and the SEC, both teams in the conference championship game are 100% going to the playoffs. Okay.
Yes.
In the ACC, I feel like that's kind of like a 75% chance. In the Big 12, if they beat themselves up like we think, that could be like a 50-50 proposition depending on where you come in the rankings. So it's going to be an interesting one for me. So
yeah.
So Mike, you're doing the Colorado breakdown, but as of right now, I feel like making a bowl is fortunate for Colorado. I do not have them in the playoffs.
Yes, I think if they can get 6 wins out of this next season, then that'll be a huge step up. So no, I don't have them going to the playoffs in the top 12. I mean, they're 4-8 last year. Have to take a look. We'd have to dive into the schedule again, but I'd say 6 wins is definitely a step up.
So Raj, your SEC championship game was Alabama and Georgia, right?
Yes.
Okay. Alabama. Okay, and I got your Georgia, Texas, Ohio State, Oregon in the Big 10.
Yep. Because right now they're currently 2-4, I think. So Ohio State, Oregon. I think it'll be interesting to see how Michigan bounces back from last year.
Wait a minute.
They did last year.
How could you be overrated if you're not even rated? They won like 3 games last year. So
they won 4 games last year.
4 games last year. So I don't think they're anything. But they definitely can't be overrated.
Yeah, we're not overrating them. They're not overrated.
Yes, they are probably one of the most polarizing and active teams in all of football right now. But yes, I would not be shocked at people not knowing. And I know she's messing with them.
Quick thing about Colorado, it'll be.
I don't know which one this was. Was this Arizona? Sorry, go ahead,
Raj. Too much talent, but I don't know. I don't know if that's Colorado or.
It was definitely not Colorado because I know, Lady Alpha. I was playing along with you. I knew.
It will be interesting to see what happens at Colorado once Shedeur and Travis Hunter and them leave. Like, it'll be interesting to see what happens and what Deion does with the program then. So, just throwing that out there.
Gotcha. All right, so there's your buddy.
We have 5 spots left.
Who do you have so far? You have all 8 of those teams. You got I got Florida State and Clemson. I got K-State and Utah. So that's 8 for me so far.
I got, let me see, Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, Ohio State. That's 4. Then I had Coastal Carolina at 5. I haven't thrown in Texas yet, but I probably will. So that's going to be one of mine. And another SEC team that I was going to throw in was Ole Miss. I have even spoken how their schedule is kind of favorable this year.
So you think this is the year for Ole Miss?
Not to win the SEC, but to get to the playoff. Yes.
What if I said no? I don't think so.
I wouldn't be surprised. Well, let me ask you this. Why not for Ole Miss?
Oh, you want to know my reasons? What's wrong, Raj?
Go ahead.
You don't seem excited.
I'm mad at myself because I fall for this almost every week, and I'm smarter than this. But I have a feeling we have to do a debate, guys.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure. So the topic of the debate is Herb thinks Ole Miss is not going to make the playoff. Raj thinks Ole Miss will make the playoff. You go ahead first, Herb.
This is without even looking at their schedule, which probably does favor them. I know they stopped to play Georgia again. I just feel like Lane can't get out of his own way at times. And that's what we're always going to remember, the going for it when you can't go for it, the putting your team in bad positions. The talent is there. It's kind of funny. We talk about Colorado, although, I mean, it is a different situation. Colorado lets a lot of people out before they bring a lot of people in, so it's like a wash. They bring in one of the most talented rosters every year as far as that. But I think what happens is they lose continuity every year. Yeah. I think losing Judkins is going to hurt them more than they realize. It's not always just a plug and play with that, And the quarterback's name already escapes me right now. But we always say he's good and talented, but I just don't think he's getting them over the hump. And I think that's the problem. So Ole Miss, I think, is just going to find a way to miss out this year.
I feel like Ole Miss, you make a decent point. I've heard better, but you make a decent point. I'm looking at their schedule. I have the schedule pulled up right now.
Okay.
Looking at their schedule, I think Ole Miss is going to fly under the radar and at 10-2. Obviously, I think one of the losses is going to be Georgia. I think they're hosting Georgia. They're hosting Georgia, and I think another one of their losses might actually be at LSU. I'm not sure if that's going to be
they
a night
can play
game at
Georgia on the
LSU.
moon, and Georgia's still beating them. That's just never going to happen.
Yeah. So with that being said, and that was the one thing that I'm leaning on is their schedule. I think they're going to have a good schedule this year. I think they had a good transition, a good offseason, especially that picking up Walter Nolan and kind of bolstering up their defense. I do hope that their offense does take a step forward and gets even better than they did last year. Had a pretty decent offense last year. Excuse me. I'm wondering if Jackson Dart kind of takes that one step forward into progressing into an NFL quarterback, because I'm pretty sure he's going to leave after this year.
But how many years has he already been there? Like, I think when you get to that point where you're
but that's every college quarterback nowadays. I don't know how old Jackson Dart is. I have absolutely no idea.
I think he's like 32. I'm pretty sure it's over for him.
Well, hey, look, I could pull up his age right quick, but I'm just going off the schedule. I'm going off Ole Miss's schedule. I did not know we were going to debate this, but I'm kind of interested to see what the judge says.
Oh, okay. Well, Raj, I think just somehow
Jackson Dart. He's only 21.
Yeah, he just seems older. It seems like he's been at Ole Miss for like 5 years. So.
He actually just turned 21. So
21. Can you do something? Okay. I don't think he waited till 21 to start drinking in Ole Miss. I'm pretty sure about that one. So, all right, Raj, you said you want to go to the judge and see who wins the debate?
Yes, let's do it.
Thank y'all for watching the Herb and Raj podcast. It's Breezy here to judge the debate. I listen to both sides, but sorry, Raj. Herb won. Bye.
I just like. Hold on. Let's check on the. I just like that you can't accuse me of doing it anymore. Like, it's clearly not me. Raj, are you okay? Are you all right?
Really? You got Breezy in there? Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Wow. Okay. What a surprise. Another point goes to Herb. So
I don't know what we were saying with this one. Don't do that, kids. Interesting. Say what you mean. Don't make me ask what you mean.
I have no idea what Randy's talking about right there.
Yeah. Unless he means at the end of whoever that was, Breezy's. So let me see what you got. It's Detroit's SEC's Arnold Registrar. I haven't heard from local media. Man, I don't know exactly. I guess what you've heard of. We'll probably talk more about Terrion Arnold. I think what I like most about Arnold is he liked to be coached really hard. He admitted that several times. He tells stories about how when Saban got on him, and one reason why he stuck around was he liked to be coached hard. I think you'll appreciate that.
Yeah. And
then number two, he was probably one of the most improved players you saw in this past year. You know, going into this year, it was Kool-Aid. Yep. And just kind of like, hey, what's going to happen on the other side? Even have one of my friends, Ricky, you know, he was terrible on Terrion Arnold. And then all of a sudden he was CB1 for us and the person slated to go in the first round of Kool-Aid you weren't sure about. So Arnold and
Terrion Arnold played good
I'll tell you about.
Played good in the SEC championship game too. But yeah, I think to Herb's point, Terrion Arnold just seemed like he got better over this progression of the season. So shout out to Terrion Arnold. He's doing really, really good with his interviews, works hard, speaks highly of family and friends. Seems like he's just a good guy to be around. He's going to be a good guy to be in the locker room and step up and be a leader on the field. And pairing him with Brian Branch back there, and the Detroit Lions are just going to do some damage this year. I already told her that I think I want to say I picked him to go to the Super Bowl this upcoming season. So we shall see. Of course, we'll discuss that. We'll discuss that on another show at a later time. So.
Yep. Disappointed in how that worked. So, Randy, I see what you're saying now. Once we start the debate, I didn't have the comments on, so I missed a lot. Yeah. So that's what that is. So we'll have to scroll back up to kind of go see what's going on there. So, Alabama football, Notre Dame lacrosse sharing a national championship yesterday.
Yeah,
because his boy Buckner. So
his boy Buckner won a national championship, Notre Dame lacrosse. So shout out to Tyler Buckner. Hope you're listening. Man.
He made a good career choice, so we love it. So
good career choice.
This is when Kneecap came on. So yep, Good evening, sir. Great to see you. Like I said, we missed comments when we started the debate, so that's why we missed some of the stuff that was said. So, Pete Golding, yeah. I just from what you see, the defense improved when he was out the door. It just seems like he's more into like schemes than his players at times. Like, just get the guys out there and let them work sometimes, you know? So,
yeah.
And this is what he was talking about, the CBS Sports take on the Buckeyes from this week. Oh, it says the only non-Georgia option for number one team. It's close to super teams. We'll see. Chip Kelly leaving his post, which that's probably a really good pickup as far as that. So
when Randy first typed this out, I thought Randy was just typing all this out. I'm like, good Lord, this guy's typing really, really fast. I'm like, wow, Randy just spit off the top of the dome. But I mean, Ohio State's gonna be a team to watch this year. We all know that. So I guess the question is for them and for Ryan Day, and Herb, you can answer this. What happens if Ohio State does not win the Natty this year? Is that it for Ryan Day? Do they give him another chance? Or
if they get to the national championship game and lose, I think he might be okay. And let's take a step back. If he doesn't win the Big Ten, I think he's fired. I think if he loses to Michigan, he's fired. But what was upwards of $30 million they spent on the team this year? Like, you just can't invest that much and not have some kind. If they host they win the Big Ten, they host that first game in the playoff, or I guess the second week in the after the bye, and they lose that game, I think he's out. I think there's a lot more scenarios to get him fired than there are for him to keep his job. I'll say that. So so that was kneecapping. So Randy, we just missed that. So that was it. What we said. He's done. I mean, I just think they have set him up for success, and if he doesn't get it, like, I just don't know what else to do. So I got that's when he learned from his benching on day one of the draft. So nice.
And that's a good point, because this day in college football, I mean, just because you have some kids at your school doesn't mean they're all going to be there for 3 years together. So who knows what happens to the team after this year if somebody else wants to transfer again.
Kyrie? Oh. And then, if OSU loses to Michigan again without her. No, I think if they lose, he's getting fired. Like, they won't even let him go shake hands at midfield. So I think he'd be gone. I just think there's a lot of scenarios. They're already not happy with Michigan's dominance and then Michigan winning a national title. Like, I just think there's way too many scenarios where he gets gone. So
I agree.
Oh, and Raj, you did miss one good one. At least one person was happy about the debate when it popped up.
Cat. I think all of us, including myself, debate. It's just entertaining to me, and it's funny how you always manage to catch me off guard. That's the funny part of
it. And you had one in here that said, got your own judge. I don't even know that the judge is an independent third-party system. So I don't even know the judges before they pop up or what they're going to say. That's all I can say about that. All right. The fans were so he loves the debate. That's what I'm saying. He loves the debate, and the fans will revolt if they.
I'm surprised David hasn't said anything negative about LeBron yet. David's been in here for a couple minutes and nothing.
Do you want me to go show you the comment? I was skipping it for your sake.
He's probably typing it right now.
No, he already said it.
Oh my gosh, I missed it. I was off my game, David. You got me that time. Yeah.
Agreed. And so, like, we're gonna talk a little bit basketball here somewhere in the end of this, but one reason why, like, we've invited different teams on here to talk and different stuff is we're just trying to keep the football love going. So obviously we want to focus on Alabama, we want to focus on the SEC, but we actually just, if we're gonna even shout out to one of our buddies, Randy, who's like, talking to us in the offseason about, like, hey, what do you guys want to focus on? What do you actually love to talk about? And it ends up being football. Yeah. So, as soon as he says it, but somebody else has to say it. Raj is a Lakers fan. I'm sorry, Raj is not a Lakers fan. Raj is a LeBron.
I'm a LeBron fan. Yeah.
So he was not happy.
And since I was not happy, and right now, since we're, obviously we're out, I have to default to the home team. So I'm rooting for the Mavs, and based on the way they've been playing, I think they might close it out tonight. And then, obviously they're gonna play the Celtics, so that'll be interesting. And maybe that's something we'll get into a little later. So just throwing that out.
We're going to talk a little bit, I guess, about at the end. We're also going to we're trying to put together a little, maybe 30-minute, maybe less special this weekend. just to discuss the final. So we're going to wait until this
Yep.
game actually finishes. But we're going to put that out just so we can have some fun, but not take away from what we're talking about on the podcast. And then next week, well, I won't even tell y'all what next week. I'm not doing next week's. So Raj is hosting next week.
Yeah.
So he'll have to tell you. So I think the difference there with the Cat versus AD is like AD is like kind of physically soft and Cat is like mentally soft. I don't think he gets hurt as much, but I don't know how much y'all want to talk about it. You're looking at these teams, and Minnesota to me is ending up with the same weakness as a lot of other teams, is they need a good number 2. So
and Cat just hasn't been shooting well this series. See, like he's been scoring points because of free throws and like a few threes, but if you look at his field goal percentage this series, it's just absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
And I want to say last game he was like, I don't know, 6 for 15 or so. He's just bad. So
Anthony
Edwards is doing exactly. And Anthony Edwards is doing as much as he can, but it's too late. I mean, Dallas is up 3-0, so they're not coming back from
Yeah,
that.
you have to. So they said that eventually somebody will come back from a 3-0, and Boston almost did it last year. They got to a game 7, but yeah, he needs some. You have to have that second guy. You know, you don't have the days anymore really of one main guy and like a great team, right? You know, because Luka got all this way with nothing really, you know, and then all of a sudden they get Kyrie, just another guy that can close or take pressure off you from time to time, and all of a sudden, boom, you know, you're talking about the finals. So, well, we knew we were talking about AD as a Unibrow. Roger's a Lakers fan, so he definitely knew that. So.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we got you, Nico.
Batman would have a tough time against MJ, but he would shut LeBron down. So, he would shut LeBron down.
You had that. Okay. How do you even think Batman would play? Do you think Batman would trash talk on defense? Like, what would he say?
He would have LeBron so scared, and the first time LeBron bumped into him, he'd flop and fall over, and Batman would be like, come on. But, like, MJ is more mentally tough than LeBron also, so I think he could go one-on-one with Batman for sure.
Oh, my gosh. Here we go with this mess.
I just hope
MJ doesn't quit. I just hope MJ doesn't quit during the game. That's all. I mean, he retired so many times, it just kept on coming back. He didn't know what he wanted to do.
I guess he could just keep finding different teams to play on until he wins a title. I guess he could just keep scooting around. I guess Cleveland, Miami, Cleveland, LA.
MJ decided to go to Washington, and I don't know what happened at Washington. I have no idea.
No, kind of like what's happening these last years.
Of course, we never talk about that. Whenever we talk about Jordan, we only talk about 6 years. So I keep forgetting that.
And they were the greatest 6 years ever.
6 years, but it's supposed to be a career debate, but it's only about 6 years when it comes to Jordan.
Because he had a great 6 years.
Luka's a killer. I'll take him. Luka is an assassin. Luka, he's that guy. The thing about Luka is that he's not like the most athletic guy, but he can shoot, he can pass, he can rebound, he can do everything. He's got the killer instinct. And obviously, it was funny to see him shoot that shot over Rudy Gobert and see what he said afterwards. He said it right to Gobert's face. Gobert couldn't do anything. Gobert was like, "Yeah, I messed up. I did not got him that way."
What? Really? That's what he sounds like? Yeah. So you bring up a point that was going to be thrown at the end, but now it's a good time. Do you think Rudy Gobert is getting too much blame or the appropriate amount of blame for this series? Because he's getting trashed.
Well, I know he's getting trashed for Luka hitting the game winner. I get that. He's getting the appropriate amount of blame. I mean, you're the defensive player of the year. Your team's down. Your team hasn't won a single game. I don't think he's been clogging up the lane as much as he could have. But at the same time, I don't think people gave Dallas's bigs as much credit as they deserve. Derek Lively has been huge for Dallas this year. Huge rookie coming from out of Duke this year, playing very, very well for them. I forgot the other gentleman's name, but they're both been playing really, really well for Dallas this year. Who?
Gafford,
I believe. Yeah, you're right. So kudos to Dallas's big man. But, I mean, I think we were all expecting Rudy to just shut all that down, but there's no way possible he's going to do that. And regarding Luka's game winner, I mean, he got caught up in a bad matchup. Luka saw the matchup, and
but should he have been on Gobert's part? So there was two things with that, and one of them you probably have to bring your coach more than anything else. Should Rudy have been on the court? And the coach's last words to the team was, we're switching everything.
I don't think he should have been on the court because they knew Dallas was going to have the last shot. I mean, you want Rudy Gobert if your team needs to get a rebound, obviously, but they knew Dallas was going to have the last shot, and it was either going to go to Kyrie or Luka. Most definitely Luka, because Luka's their number one player. And Luka's not going to probably drive to the lane. He's probably going to do a step back three, which is exactly what he did. And Jamal Crawford even called it prior to the game, prior to the shot. So, Rudy, when they got that matchup and they got the screen and they got the mismatch, Luka he smelt the blood, got him out there dancing on the three-point line, did a step back, popped it in his face, then talked that noise, talked the talk directly to Gobert, made him look bad. No, but to answer your question, he probably should have been on the court at that time. I mean, you could have put honestly, and I want to see what your answer. You could have put like Naz Reid on him. I don't know if Naz Reid was on the court or not on the court, but he could have been out there guarding Luka and probably did a better job. But
true.
Hey, everything fell Luka's way. So
yeah, to me the question was more about should he even been out there and should the coach have even been saying stuff like we're switching everything. Other than that, like I don't know what he's going to do. Luka could have hit that shot over, and that's what Kenny Smith made the comment. He was like, who else was going to block that shot anyways? I don't know, but you definitely could have given yourself a better shot. And I would have blitzed him. I'd have taken the ball out of his hands. Yeah. But problem is having him and Kyrie on the court at the same time. So let's go back. I'm not missing next week. I'm just Raj is running the entire show. And he can tell you why whenever he wants to tell you. But I will be here. But I will be sitting here in nothing but boxers and a tank top, sipping bourbon for the whole show.
That's TMI. Can I tell him now? Can I tell him now?
It's your show.
All right. So Herb's birthday is coming up this Sunday, June the 2nd. When obviously I knew about it already, but I guess the big question for me is when do we want to do Herb's birthday show? I feel like today would have been too early. I wanted to do it a little closer to the birthday date. So Herb's birthday show will be next Tuesday. We will be celebrating all things Herb, which is like 2 or 3 things. We're talking good about Herb. Hopefully,
2 or 3 things. That's all you got.
I want everybody. He's got a lot of T-shirts and he has nice hats.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. So next Tuesday we will be celebrating all things Herb. I love my brother, man. Wouldn't be here without him. Definitely the best guy on earth. Lady Alpha has a question for you. Do you want to answer Lady Alpha's question?
No, let me get on down to where is that? How old? Because she's like 53.
Okay. All right.
There's a debate about how old I am and if I'm older than certain people, so we're always going to shoot high. That's the Herb Day. I think that means something different, Mike. I think that means something different.
Yeah.
A lot of people would like to do a national. I went to physical therapy today and I had to explain that my name actually is Herb, but people do call me Herb, and I just answered to it because it's easier than correcting. So I would. How y'all gonna accuse me of lying? Why would I lie? So
all right, are you gonna lie to our supporters, Herb? Are you really gonna do that?
Never.
Okay.
So
all right, Herb is turning 53. He said it.
He's happier. I'm 53. He'll be 54. Well, man, I'm about to be 55 on Sunday, man. So congrats to you too, though.
Wow,
happy early birthday.
Okay. All right.
The world may never know. So there was a couple I missed in there that I did want to get through while we were talking about. So the mental toughness between, yes, I agree. I think sometimes when we talk about all this stuff, and this is like, look, I'm taking the LeBron thing out of it. I don't think people realize how mentally tough Michael was. And I think that sometimes gets lost in everything we say. MJ was tough, man. He was really tough.
Oh, he was. I can admit that. And listen, even though we go back and forth about this, I'm not gonna sit there and say MJ was he's close to the GOAT. I mean, I got LeBron 1, MJ 2, but I mean, obviously it can go either way. But MJ was a heck of a player. Oh, we have a special guest that just commented. Who is this? Oh. Wow. Shout out to Mom. Mom is in the building. Mom, we love you. I know you saw Herb today. I missed you. The fam misses you. I hope you all are doing well. Of course, if I was talking to you right now, I'd ask first of all, eating for dinner tonight. And the reason I ask my mom that all the time is because her cooking is magnifico.
Yeah. Magnifico. I can tell you tonight, though, we had Mexican. You. She was actually in town, so we had Mexican. Yep.
Did y'all go to the what's the name of the spot that you and Britt go to?
We're not going to tell anybody because they're not sponsoring us. So.
Oh, I like that. Okay, gotcha.
So, this is what I did want to mention on because I do want to kind of get through the last of these little comments and stuff before we get into a couple questions and let you go. This is a point that's been made a lot as a perfect point. The Timberwolves did have a team that could beat the Nuggets. The Nuggets have a team that's probably better to compete with the Mavs, and the Mavs just have a team that's better because it's rock, paper, scissors, man. It all depends on your matchup.
That's true. And we talked about that. Herb and I've talked about it, especially when it comes to the playoffs. It's all about rosters and matchups. And you made a good point. Surprisingly, Herb made a very, very good point. I think the Timberwolves youth kind of got him past the Nuggets because the Nuggets aren't the most athletic team, but then they matched up with the Mavs. And then I honestly thought that the Timberwolves would take this series, but it didn't turn out. I just think that that 1-2 punch from Dallas with Luka and Kyrie is just too much for Dallas for Minnesota. And again, their big man stepped up. And then PJ, you know who's stepping up? Surprise! PJ Washington has hit some pretty big shots in this series.
You know why?
Shout out to PJ Washington.
Out of purgatory. So all these guys are like, thank you for rescuing me. I will play my best.
Where was he at? He was at Charlotte for a while, right?
Yeah.
Just things
things
didn't pan out well there. So now he's like getting noticed. So he's like, please.
Now, let's be fair. Things didn't pan out there well there, but not because of him. The team is terrible. Yeah. they were a terribly built team. So I get it.
Who was their owner for a long time? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't even remember.
Oh, you don't remember? Okay, go ahead.
Will Dak? He won't. So I like this question, not to pile on Dak, but because we were just mentioning mental toughness, Dak in the playoffs just doesn't have it. Like he will be a top 5 regular season quarterback for you. Yeah. And he just doesn't have it. And this is like not even just our view. I was listening to a podcast after the playoffs for Dallas Cowboys, and they were saying it in a nice way, but they were like, it just wasn't good. So
it's not. And his play against Green Bay this past year in the playoff game was just like, I can't even think of a word to describe that because it looked like he was playing football for the first time. Some of the passes that he was making.
Yeah,
it was very, very embarrassing. And that was the one game that I know Dallas should have won. I think we all picked Dallas to win that game. They're at home. Jordan Love's first playoff game. He's still young quarterback. They had everything in their favor, but they just played horribly. Him and CeeDee Lamb were not on the same page. And we can go into a million different things. And Dak just didn't show out. And to Herb's point, I mean, Dak's won 12 regular season games the past 3 seasons, but come playoff time, it's just like everything goes out the window.
Yep.
Would you say that Dak's window has already closed? Like, is that it?
I don't know that they're keeping him next year because of all the money they got to play Lamb, Parsons, and Dak, and it's like, am I going to pay you $60 million to not win a championship and not win playoff games? That's a lot of money, you know.
Yep.
And the Trey Lance thing is always going to loom in the background. You know, like what was the whole point of that? Like, are you actually planning on moving on that?
I didn't understand that one.
Yeah.
So. I didn't get that one.
This is maybe one of the best comments. Yep. So he definitely would.
Oh my gosh.
Ball don't lie. Now this is a name that I recognize that I wonder how many of the people out there. But Tayshawn's probably one of the most underrated guys out there, and part of that new wave of Pistons that won the title without like a superstar in it. So Tayshawn was out there. Let me see. Who's
Tayshawn had length. That was Tayshawn's his thing. He had length.
I'm gonna say Randy has me by a couple years, but it's close. Now, who's better looking, Randy by a mile? But with that beard, like
Randy looks. Randy's handsome. You know, give a shout out to Randy. Herb's just Herb.
I can't wait till you have to be nice for a whole episode next week. So, Kat, I don't know what you're talking about. So
I think you let it slip one day. You're within a year. Okay, yeah, gotcha. Yep.
Have you asked if they want to sponsor you, Herb? We've only eaten there once, the food place. So, but I look, my loyalty can be bought for sponsorships on here. So that's just another one of the list of things that I got to get through for the podcast. So I miss who that was. Who was slick with the us talking bad about each other. So probably you talk bad about me because I've always been super nice. So
yeah.
So this is an interesting one to me because I have never liked Kyrie ever. I have been rooting for him to work, huh?
Yeah.
I never liked his attitude and his play style, but especially if he's extremely talented. I've been rooting for him on Dallas, though.
Yeah. I didn't like Kyrie when he left Cleveland and then him bouncing to Boston, not seeing things work out there, not seeing things work out in Brooklyn. And I think I even told you, and you and I talked about this years ago, we didn't think Kyrie would ever win another championship. I think he should have stayed in Cleveland a couple more years. They had a good chance there. Excellent player. He's probably one of my top 5 point guards all time to me. I think he's even the best ball handler I've ever seen. Great shooter. Definitely. Good ball handler. It's good. I think this year, right now, he's just in a good headspace.
He is, and he's playing defense. Okay with Raj. He is playing. Like you look at the last series against Oklahoma. There was plenty of low scoring outputs for him, but he's out there competing and playing great defense. You know, it's hats off to him, man. Hats off to him. We're gonna have to get through these and give you a couple of questions so we can get on out of here. So
go ahead. Go ahead. Let's do it.
Same exact thing about Dak. Agreed. Yeah, he is. He's just not clutch. Mahomes can go through a regular season and have a decent regular season, but come the playoff, he's gonna turn it on, and Dak's gonna turn it off. So so won 11 games that one gifted to him right last. Yeah, and that's what you're getting every year: a top 5, a great finish, and nothing in the playoffs. So. We missed this, but good night to you, Lady Alpha. I hope you had a good night. So
good night, Lady Alpha. Appreciate you for joining
I do a podcast about my life. Yep. We'll have to touch base with you. I mean, we obviously do a lot more college, but definitely have to touch base with you later this year.
Herb and I are rooting for the Lions, especially with you guys being loaded with Bama talent these past last year and especially this year. So we will definitely be paying attention to the Lions, and I'll try to catch all the games I can for them too.
Yep. We'd love to do a collab later in the year too, or something like that, or maybe closer to when the season is. But definitely hit us up. Appreciate it. So, and that was part of one of the things that just kind of gave him a negative, negative feelings about him, man. So, I think this year is one of the first years where you just really concentrate on basketball and let all the other stuff go. So, definitely, I'll hit you up, man. So, and one pride. We're not going to ask Kat to reveal who her first team is. If you've been watching, you should already know. All right, 2 quick questions, Raj, and we're gonna get you out of here. Okay.
All right.
This is one you've answered before, but now because you've added another dimension, I'm gonna make you answer it again. Okay. So now it's work, play, live, but now ditch. So for those who haven't watched, work is who you want to work with 40 hours away. Live always confuses people. Live is who you want to live next to, not the same house with.
Right.
But they would be your next door neighbor, so you would see them half the time. Okay. Play, who you want to go out with on Friday, Saturday nights, hang out, woohoo party, and ditch, who's calling you on Friday night and you're letting it go to voicemail. All right. Mac, Bryce, Tua, Jalen.
All right. I'm going to
live, no one.
Oh, man, that's a good one. All right. I'm going to work with Bryce. Bryce is a very cerebral, and I think Bryce would be really, really, really cool to work with, and he'd definitely keep me on my 8 a.m. game, and if we ever need to go to like a work lunch or a work gathering afterwards, I would always be hanging out with Bryce. I might have to ditch Mac Jones. I don't know, man. I feel like Mac would just start pouting after a while after he doesn't get his way.
Hey, Rod.
Like, I don't want to do that one. I don't want to go there. Well, let's go somewhere. No, Mac, we don't want to deal with Mac. And I also feel like if Mac goes out with us, maybe he gets too drunk and just embarrasses. I don't want to deal with Mac. Sorry, Mac. I'm gonna live next to Tua. He's my favorite QB right now. He's my QB1. I would love to just hang out, just shoot the shot with him. And that leaves Jalen. I'm going to hang out with Jalen Hurts. He's signed the big contract. He's got the moolah. He's taking me out. We're all hanging out. We're having a good time.
Nice. So she disagreed a little bit. Work with Jalen. Go out with the Joker. Live. So you ditching Bryce?
No, I ditched Mac Jones.
No, I'm saying with Cat. I'm saying with Cats. Yeah, Cats.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, ditched Bryce. He's too. Oh, She'd be. Oh, he said Matt. I think he meant Matt Jones. Sounds familiar.
I'm talking about Matt Jones.
They get somebody, Raj. Yeah. All right, second question, Raj. And this is a deep one, so you'll have plenty of time to answer. Okay. Saban era players, right? This is what we always do, right? From the 4-yard line, you got one play. You got to score a touchdown, right? Give me a quarterback, a running back, 2 wide receivers, and then a third offensive player. Give me a running back, wide receiver, tight end, whatever. and then I'm gonna give you the part
defense,
2.
Nope.
Huh? Yeah. Because I was setting the table. And we're gonna give you the defensive part.
Gotcha. So you need a quarterback and running back, 2 wide receivers,
and an offensive player. Yep.
Oh.
Like Rudy Gobert getting into
any
a fight.
Offensive player?
Yes, any offensive player.
All right. Okay, quarterback. I'm probably gonna pick Jalen Hurts just because he'll give me the dual threat. No. Bryce. I want Bryce there because Bryce will jog it in if necessary, but he's very, very accurate.
Right.
Athlete or my offensive player, I'm gonna pick Jalen Waddle.
Okay.
Receivers, Julio Jones, Devontae Smith. Running back, Derrick Henry.
Okay. Now, the twist, the ones that we haven't played, who's defending them? Give me 5 people that you want on the field to defend. And it might not be, you don't have to give me 3 defensive backs. Okay, that's fine.
I understand.
But give me 5 Saban-era players that you definitely have to have on the field for this play.
All right, we're going to have to put some pressure on Bryce somehow, even though we probably won't catch him because he's too smart. So I get Jonathan Allen, Will Anderson. Will Anderson knows Bryce. Will Anderson might know Bryce more than anybody, so I definitely have Will Anderson out there.
All right.
I'm going to have Minka back there as maybe like a spy. Minka's got the speed, but he could come in on like a safety blitz or whatever the case may be. Of course, we don't know what play they're calling. And we're going to have somebody that we have to guard the receivers just in case they do pass. So I'm going to get Marlon Humphrey and PS2.
Nice.
Yep.
I like it. I like your defense, Raj. I like that. Little twist.
Appreciate it.
Roman Harper, Minka, Will Anderson. I think Roman Harper was before the time that we're talking about, but right?
Yeah, he was before Nick Saban, I believe. Yeah, so.
But definitely a good pick.
Yep.
All right, Raj. Appreciate you, sir. Next week you're running the show. I may or may not show up. We'll see how that goes. Everybody, your comments make the show, man. We really appreciate y'all helping us get through. Until next week, everybody have a wonderful night. Roll Tide. And you saw the last comment, no Terrion. I was wondering if he's going to pick any of the older guys versus the newer guys, for sure.
Yeah, it could have been an assortment of names there. So, I just went with PS2 and Marlon Humphrey. So, Terrion would definitely fit the mold as well. Yep.
Everybody have a wonderful night and Roll Tide.
Yep. Roll Tide.